Have you ever been scrolling Instagram or reading a founder story and thought, oh, she's so lucky? I'm Alisha and I want to welcome you to She Got Lucky, where luck is just the beginning. After building 3 global brands, creating next level wealth through my social media, and being announced as Instagram's first Reels Pro, I know that there's a lot more than luck to getting started, and that with the right strategy, mindset, and drive, almost anyone can create a business that feels too good to be true or too fun to be considered work. In this podcast, we explore the stories of women who've made their mark, not just by chance, but through trust, resilience, and a belief in their capabilities. We'll dive into the actual strategies, stories, and secrets of success. So, if you're ready to chase your dreams, and instead of wondering how she did it, make it happen for yourself, tune in and let's redefine what it means to be lucky in the world of business.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the She Got Lucky podcast. If you are new here, welcome. And this is the podcast, your weekly playbook for building a brand that stands out, inspires, and most importantly, redefines luck. Now, before we dive into the real tea of today's topic, I want to pull back the curtains and share a little bit about today. So today, a normal Thursday, so I thought. So something happened behind the scenes today, and it's one of the challenges with having numerous brands at the same time. You know, I've been juggling more than one business for longer than I can remember. And it's been such a big lesson by actually doing it, by actually experiencing and living it. Because whilst one might be going so well, you have to hold the duality of, whilst that might be going great, business 1 might be going amazing, business 2 might be the complete opposite. Things might be popping up. It might feel draining. It might be harder to go and, actually take action in that business. And it's been a really big constant learning curve. And today something happened. It's been bubbling under the surface for quite a while. And look, I do plan to do an episode on it, but I also want to make sure that anytime I share things with you, it's not a case of Dear Diary. It's not a case of, welcome to this episode of the She Got Lucky. Let me tell you how I'm feeling right now. That's not going to help you. What is going to help you is to be able to share the lessons, the level ups that I've gained from experiencing those crappy moments firsthand, okay? But why I'm sharing the behind the scenes of what's happened today, why I'm sort of touching on it, is because it does lead into the topic of today. Because what was happening, it was in Full and Filled. It was in my e-commerce business. And as I said, it's been bubbling for a while. Now, I reckon 12 months ago, Alisha, this person, she would be absolutely not coping. Absolutely not coping. And whilst these things pop up and consistently are going to pop up, I always like to take just a little bit of a moment to appreciate the growth. We're always looking for that next level. We're always looking to, I want to do something. I don't feel like I'm growing. I don't feel like I'm progressing. We look for the external validation of we're getting better. We're better than we were 2 months ago. We're better than we were a year ago. What are the numbers at? What are our, are we up? Are our sales up from last year? But there are these intangible signs that we are growing. We have stepped up to a new level. And when things do pop up, I see it with my clients all the time. And I'm able to remind them, can we just take a moment? Because if this had have happened a year ago, we would not be having this same conversation. And this is the power of working with a mentor, working with a coach long term. not just working with a coach like you do, your favorite flavor of the month, your favorite ice cream of the month, whatever it might be, your favorite iPhone game app of the month. We don't need to change up. We don't need to trade out coaches and mentors this quickly. And this is something that, anytime I'm sort of coming up with what I want to share with you, what I want to really, allow you to learn are these things that took me a long time to realize, a long time to experience and learn the hard way. And I want to give you this fast-tracked approach. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to think about it. Whether you're working with a coach, whether you're working with a mentor right now, I want you to think about it. How long have you been with them? How long are you planning to stay with them? Now, here's the thing. When I first hired my first business coach, it was definitely a case of everyone was doing it. This is what I need to do. Not the right reasons, but hey, my first proper business coach was incredible, worked out really well. And I was with her for quite a while, and there was a part of me that felt I've been with her too long. I need to move. I need to find someone else. And reflecting back, it's always going to be a slightly different situation, but where that came from was not a place of power, not a place of strategy. It was a place of like this shiny object syndrome, looking for the next best thing, looking for a quick fix. Like I wasn't looking for a new coach because I wanted a different fix, but I did have this sense of, I've been working with her for quite a while now. I need to change it up. And I want you to really think about this. Do you have this same approach? Because I see business owners all the time. They may have done a course with me. They may have done a program with someone else. And I see them jumping from one to the other, to the other, to the other. But they're not getting the results they want. That's not because, they have literally jumped between 8 to 10 different coaches. A lot of them teaching similar things. And that's not going to work because you need to stick around. Now, naturally, it might not be the right fit, fair enough. But when you find a coach or a mentor that really works for you, that is a good fit for you, why jump? Why leave? So this is where this bigger conversation about long-term mentorship really comes in. Because when I get to have these conversations with my clients and I say, can you just think about, and I want you to think right now, listening, wherever you are, whether it's in the car, whether it's walking, whether it's, whilst you're having your morning coffee, whatever you're doing, I want you to think about something that has happened recently that was hard, a challenge, an obstacle, a hurdle. I want you to think about something that you have experienced in the last month that was hard. How did you handle it? Did you give yourself a moment to recognize the way you handled it was perhaps a different way to 12 months ago version of you would have handled it? Because this is the thing, is when you are with a coach long term, they know you on a deeper level. They are able to pick you up in these moments. They're able to reflect. They're able to come to any situation, any moment, any question that you ask them with a much better approach. I want to paint the scene for you, okay? Let's take a step back, away from the business coaching, business mentoring space, and I want you to imagine you're walking through the city. Right? Wherever you live, you're walking through the city, someone comes up to you and says, "Excuse me, I'm only visiting, I'm from out of town, I'm from overseas. I was wondering if you have any recommendations for good dinner. I'm trying to get dinner, I want a good place." And you say, "Yep, full and filled, it's a great restaurant down the road." And they go because of your recommendation, and they can't stand it. They didn't realize that it was a steakhouse and they're not a big fan of steak. Or, this is the thing. this is sort of like to give you a little bit of perspective is when you are wanting advice, when you are wanting to be challenged, when you are wanting answers and strategies and, someone to really guide you in your business journey, whether it be marketing, whether it be, whatever area, no matter what type of coach or mentor you have, the response, the support, the level of understanding, the advice, that will always be different depending on how well they know you, how long you've worked with them. Now, how do we know if it is time to, swap out your mentor, find a new mentor? Now, for me, someone who has the potential to be a long-term mentor needs to be someone who is growing themselves. Because fair enough if you want to change, if you want to find a new mentor because, you've gotten everything you can get from that mentor, right? Fair enough if that's what your thoughts are. But if we look at this, you aren't the same person you were 3 years ago. So your clients aren't experiencing the same responses, the same strategies, the same expertise that they may have been getting 3 years ago. I'm most definitely not the same person I was 3 years ago. And because I've made bigger moves, I've made bigger investments, I've made bigger risks, I've unfortunately made bigger, painful, difficult lessons, I have learned a lot faster. I have leaped a lot faster in the way that I am now able to lead my clients. So one of my clients who started working with me at the end of 2020, we have worked in all sorts of different capacities, all sorts of different ways. And she is not the same person she was. Her mindset is not the same. Her offers are not the same. The way she handles things, the way she responds to things, nothing is the same. And neither am I. We have been able to grow together. As I hit a new level, she comes along the ride. We are able to progress together. And this is a really beautiful, beautiful thing. On one of the earlier episodes, and I'll link it below in the show notes, but in one of the earlier episodes, I actually had my mentor on. And she is definitely a person that I can just see like lifetime mentor, right? Because she is literally always changing, always growing, always challenging herself. But for me, there's a few things. Yes, she's got incredible strategy. Yes, she's constantly growing, but she constantly sees past what everyone else sees. She sees something inside me that is really important. So instead of having your coach up on a pedestal, you're able to have your coach as a partner in a sense. It's like as a partner along your journey. You've got perhaps your partner in life who supports you, who's there through the ups and the downs, who knows you super well. You've got family members, you've got friends who support you in one way or another. You've got perhaps business besties who support you in one way or another. But to have somebody who always comes in from a place of they have expertise you don't, they've experienced things you don't, they can guide you in a way that none of these other relationships can, but they know you to that deeper level because you've been with each other for a while. Like this right here is like a gold mine that I just wish. That's why I'm talking through in this episode. I wish more people could understand. I wish more people could understand. So I'm not saying that working with someone short term can't be valuable. It absolutely can, especially if you're coming in and you're like, right, I want to really up my skills in ads. So I'm going to do a few sessions with an ad specialist. Right. I want to, set up my funnels. I'm going to work with someone, an expert, a mentor, or a coach in funnels. I'm going to get really good at it. And then I'm going to, take what I have and apply and keep going, right? Like there are different people that you're going to approach, different coaches, different mentors that you're going to approach for whatever it is. But if you are looking for a business coach, I really recommend that you're looking for someone to do the long journey with, to play the long game with, because there is so much power in that. And I think that the value you get from the experience, from the sessions, from the calls, from the strategy, from the interactions, it just starts to stack up. It gets more valuable as you go. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to create my year-long signature program. And I created it in a way that once you finish the year, you can keep going. It's not a sense of, every 12 months the same. Once you've done all the 12 months, you've got everything you can. No. I wanted to create a space that was more accessible for those who weren't perhaps at the stage where they could invest in one-on-one coaching with me. So I wanted to create a space. Now, I've done masterminds, I've done mini minds, and they all have this fixed term. And at the end of it, some of the clients are just on the edge of achieving something insane. And it's like, okay, goodbye, we're done. That's the end of the space. You are consistently stepping up. You are consistently, on the peak of something big. And so to me, it just seemed really wrong in why I was doing what I was doing to be creating these spaces, courses. It's like, yeah, come into my world, take the course, cool. You're a student now, but what? And I actually found that was one of the reasons why courses didn't work for me. We've spoken about this a little bit in a past episode, but I wanted to keep giving. I love the relationships I get to build with my clients because the better I know them, the better I get to guide them. The better I get to be as a coach to them because it goes deeper than the surface. And so these programs, they're good, but when they have that short fixed term, that's it. You can go back and watch it again or whatever, but that time where you get that support, where you get that access is it. That's it. That's over. And so I wanted to create a space where people could keep joining, where people could join for a minimum of 12 months. And can I tell you, this was such a ridiculous change up. It did not make sense. I have never, prior to the playground, I had never ever offered anything that was a 12-month commitment. Never. But after realizing the power in working for a longer period of time, the long-term mentorship power, I knew I could no longer accept this space or these spaces that were just constantly sort of like the turnover. You've joined, thanks, cool, next. I've had programs where people are joining every single one. And I'm like, that is my sign. People are here, people join my world and they want to stay. I want them to stay. So let's create an offer. Let's create a space that allows them to do that and allows me to continue supporting them, mentoring them, and helping them through their incredible business journey. And as I said, we've just finished Reels That Bank, Reels That Launch. Next year, will I launch those again? Absolutely, I will. Will they be the same experience? Will I have the same, bonuses, whatever it might be? No. We're about to launch Branding in Disguise. Now, this is a training that I will run, and this time next year, I probably will want to do something else. It's something, it's a place where as I see really key components of what has allowed me to get to where I am and above, I want to share that with my clients. And that's going to be different at every level. So when you join the playground, it's not just like this is a coaching program. It's an experience. It's a business experience where we get to have fun, where we get to grow together, where I'm not holding back in any way. I'm giving you all of it so that you truly can get the support you deserve, can get the mentor you deserve in your corner. So I really, really want to encourage you to just really look at the support you are getting right now. Now, I have beautiful business friends. They give me advice. They give me their ideas. I've got beautiful business friends who have their own expertise, and it can be really helpful. But at the end of the day, when things, the direction, the clarity, the overall moves I'm making in business, I go to my business coach for that. I can get other people's opinions, but at the end of the day, to have somebody who has the blinders on of everything else and just are looking at my end goal, knowing where I am, knowing who I am, they're going to help steer me in the direction I want to go. There's so much power in that. There's so much in that. So the evolution over months, over years, is pretty extraordinary. But when you get to experience that with your business coach, that is just priceless. It really, really is. The questions I asked my business coach when I started last year compared to now, she knows me, I know her. I'm asking questions that I wouldn't have asked back then. Sure, I've grown. Sure, I've learned to be a better client, to ask better questions, but I also am much more confident with her now. And she also knows me. So she knows when it's like, Alisha, I know that you are making excuses. I know that last year you experienced this and you're being hard on yourself to have all these experiences that she can reflect on and give me a better, it's so special. They're seeing you through everything and they're able to build out that bigger picture so that you really do start stepping up those levels together. And if you're feeling lonely in business, yes, absolutely find yourself some business friends. Find yourself some business friends, but also find yourself someone who can guide you in whatever way that works for you right now, whether that is one-on-one, whether that is a group space, whether that is the playground. Find a space that activates you, that excites you, that drives you to play bigger. Find a space with someone who can see you for you. They see something inside of you that you perhaps have not been able to see yet. They can help you bring it out. They can help guide you. They've been through things and they're going to share the lessons, share the experiences so that you don't necessarily have to go through them and learn the hard way yourself. So really, the biggest action point I want you to take from this session is to look at the support, look at who you have around you right now in your business life, and ask yourself, is this supporting me to the goals that I want to achieve? And if it isn't, let's find something that's going to work. Okay? Now, if you are interested in the playground or learning a little bit more about it, I'm going to put the details below. Feel free to jump into my DMs. Let's have a chat. Let's see if it is going to be right. So we are just about to close the doors for the foreseeable future to the playground. So this is your chance to jump in to my signature year-long program that supports you to bring back the fun and make hella money in your business. It really does give you access to everything you need and more. It's like a delicious buffet, right? All the support, everything you need, the resources, the templates, whatever, right? You get access to it all for a fraction of the cost, but for an entire year. It's all about bringing the creativity, the fun, and the strategy into your business back so that you can make that insane money. Imagine where you could be this time next year. We've spent a whole year together supporting, taking bigger steps. You'll be able to feel completely unstoppable, like you can literally conquer the world, and you're able to go bigger than ever before. The things that you don't think is possible, let's go make possible. Let's go make it happen. Now, we have a new episode dropping next Monday. We drop episodes every Monday, and next one is going to be a doozy. So definitely keep an eye out for that one. If you aren't already following the podcast, be sure to follow. You'll be the first to know when the episodes drop. She Got Lucky is about inspiring action. I drop them at the start of the week so you get to play bigger on the Monday. You start bigger, and you only go up from there throughout the week. Take action, make moves, and build the business that feels too good to be true. I can't wait to hear your biggest takeaways, your biggest moments listening to this episode. But until next time, I will see you on the gram or perhaps in the playground.